It's been a little while since I've made a video like this, as far as a video that is about life, realistically. I'm kind of going through this right now, so this kind of hits close to home. I guess the topic or the title or whatever is how to make life-altering hard decisions, or how do you even know if you're going to make the right decision? A lot of times, people get frozen in fear and do nothing because they don't know what the right decision is. It can be very destructive, let's put it that way. It can be very destructive when you just decide for yourself, I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna do nothing. You can take this from a perspective of gaming, a perspective of being in a bad relationship where it's like, I don't know if I should leave, I don't know if I should stay. I guess I'll just stay because I don't know, if I don't wanna go through this fight, or I don't wanna go through this move or this breakup or whatever it might be. I'm just trapped. And truthfully, as far as a life-altering decision, it truly is life-altering to say, okay, I'm no longer going to have this person be in my life. Or I'm no longer, let's say, as far as business, I'm no longer going to be in this business, or I'm no longer going to live in this town, or whatever the life-altering decision is for you. So the first thing that I've been doing, and I've been doing this a lot, and this is like not staged or scripted. This is something I'm going through right now. For those of you that don't know, if you're in the chat right now, obviously you do know. But for those of you that don't know, I just recently moved to Florida, which is a very life-altering decision, because it's like, should I stay where I've always lived my entire life? Or should I uproot and go somewhere where I don't know anybody and I don't know anything? I'm just here. And for me, I can truly say that it has been a good decision thus far as my experiences, and also just getting out of my shell and all those other things. That's for another day. The number one thing that I think about when I'm going to make a life-altering decision is, in the future, once I've made the decision, how am I truly going to feel once I've gotten over the daunting task of making the decision? Because a lot of the times, and this happens for a lot of us, the hardest part of making this hard decision is just deciding, saying, okay, this is where we're going. Once you've started to go, or once you are there, it's not even close to as terrifying or as difficult as the pivotal point of saying, okay, this is the moment I've decided I'm not doing this anymore, or I'm breaking up with this person, or I'm moving to this country, or whatever it is. You have to ask yourself, will you be happier, truthfully, in a neutral state once you've actually made the decision? Saying, let's say the dust has settled, there's no more emotion involved, whatever you want to call it. After that's happened, can you say to yourself, okay, I know this is the right thing to do for me, even though it's scary. This is the right thing to do. You have to ask yourself like that. You have to ask yourself that basically every single time you make a life-altering decision, because a lot of the time emotion does get in the way. And that, I will say, it genuinely is something that gets in the way, because it can be very binary as far as, if you do this, it can be good or it can be bad. I don't know what's going to happen, but I got to at least find out. Because where I currently am, and this is going to transition to the next thing quite smoothly, but where I currently am is not sufficient for me, or where I currently am, I'm not happy. So the next thing that I talk about, or that I think about, is the pain of staying the same greater than the pain of changing? This is also a very difficult thing where a lot of people will hold on to stuff for a very, very long time until it's the most bitter end, crash and burn Armageddon of a decision where it's like, it's as bad as it can possibly be. Now changing is easy, which is very, in my opinion, I'm trying to think of the word, not toxic. I guess, you know what, I'll say it's very draining. It's very draining. There's a stronger word than that I can't think of at the moment, but it's very draining to put yourself in that position to say, I'm gonna wait until there's truly nothing left, and then I'm going to change my decision. Or like, let's say, for example, I'll say with a relationship, I'm going to wait until there's a devastating moment or a devastating fight, and then I'll just leave. Versus on a random Wednesday, it's not that bad today, so I'll just stay, even though for the past months or years, it's been terrible, or whatever it might be. So that's a huge one. This is, for me, this is, I wouldn't even say it's being a man. It's being a man or being a woman, just being a confident person or being a assertive person to say, okay, even if at this exact moment, keeping your emotions out of it, at this exact moment is not that bad, you got to look at the track record. You gotta look at the track record and say, it's been so bad in the past, or it's been so difficult in the past, so hard in the past. I can predict the future based on previous trends, and this is what's going to continue to happen. So although it's not a horrible day today or a horrible point in time right now, now's a good time to make this decision. It's very difficult to do, but it's putting your head down. It's just deciding that there's no going back. Basically, it's basically just saying to yourself, there's no going back. And at this point, Although it can be worse, or could be better if I try. Like maybe you've tried to fix things a million times and just can't be fixed. You have to just try, and sometimes you have to just stick to your guns and stick up for yourself, or look out for yourself. It might sound selfish to do, but in some cases it can honestly mean your life or your livelihood or your mental health, which in all cases are extremely important. And if no one else is looking out for those things for you, then you have to look out for them for yourself. You just have to. I guess the last part, which I kind of touched on a little bit as well too, is, are the satisfying highs worth the devastating lows? When I talk about this, as far as let's say a relationship, relationships are the easiest things to talk about with this type of stuff. It's not always a relationship, but it kind of just makes the most sense. It's the most relatable thing for sure. Are the great times that you have with somebody worth all the fighting? And I'm not saying fighting like this is not like something that could be fixed, but you're lazy or you don't want to work on a relationship. I'm not saying those types of fights. I'm saying like when it is the worst possible thing ever happening versus the greatest possible thing happening. At least for me, if it's going to be relationship wise, or if it's mental health wise or fitness wise or whatever, I can even relate it to sports as well too. I guess to keep it maybe not too down that one lane, but is it worth the pain? Let's say you're playing like a contact sport like football, or let's say you do fighting or whatever, MMA, doesn't matter. Is it worth getting insanely hurt, getting a concussion, breaking bones, all these different things? Is that worth the satisfaction of just playing this game? For a lot of people, the answer is yes. And for some people, it's yes for a allotted period of time, and then it kind of shifts towards not so much. But you have to ask yourself those things. It's like, am I being a baby? Is it really not as bad as I think? Or is it actually really great and I need to just suck it up when things are not perfect all the time, because nothing's perfect all the time? Or is it something that is actually ruining my life? And every once in a while, there's a small glimmer, a small spike that allows me to feel a little bit good. And I just rationalize, okay, it wasn't that bad, when really it was deteriorating your entire life. And I know this is like not the most uplifting, spirited video in the world, and I get that. But these are types of questions that people are humming and hawing about for themselves for an incredibly long time, basically forever. For a lot of people, it's truly, it's just deteriorating of characters, deteriorating of your entire mental health, where it's like, I don't know what I should be doing, so therefore I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to ask anybody for help. And if you're someone who's watching this and you're in the chat, and by in the chat I mean in the comments, share your story. If you've had any sort of experiences in the past where you've gone through stuff where it's like, I wish I just made this decision versus dragging this out, or I wish I just made this decision and stuck with it because it was the right thing to do, versus reverting and being scared or whatever it was, whether it's going back to a past partner, going back to a past job, reverting back to a routine that you don't actually like, quitting something, anything like that. Because I want to be able to share these experiences with you guys and also hear from you guys as well too. You can keep it relatively private, of course. That's obvious. But a lot of people out there that are wanting to connect, and it's a good sounding board to have, to know that there's other people out there that are going through the exact same thing, or very similar things to yourself. So with all that being said, I guess the reason why I brought this up in the first place is because, for anyone who has not noticed, I have not uploaded a video on the Meta of Smash or MOS Tricks channel for quite some time. And it's because, and I hate to say this, but I've known for a very long time that Smash has been heading very, very south in the world of competitive / coaching for Smash. Top players and all that, they'll always be top players. They'll always have their audience, whatever. But if you just take a quick look around, truthfully take a quick look around at who is still doing competitive coaching, guides, anything like that for Smash. Where's Izza? Where am I? Where's Frenzy Light? Beefy Smash dudes have stopped for a long time. There's basically nobody at this point. And I'm not singling these people out to say that they're bad and they should be doing this, because I'm also one of those people too. It's the fact that it's people's livelihoods at this point. So for me, I have been trying to branch out, and I'm trying to do stuff like Call of Duty and stuff. And there's people that are watching this and they do play Call of Duty, or even better yet, if you've been thinking to yourself, I used to watch the streams of what happened, I've changed my name on stream to my actual name. So it's just Tyson_JV. I'll put it on screen. The reason why is because I don't really know where I'm trying to go at this point. I feel like I'm floundering, and in the world of business, that's the worst feeling in the world, because I am very used to being able to just dig in and drive as hard as I possibly can in one direction, and that shit just works, right? If it's Smash for 4 years, 1,200 videos, thousands of hours coaching, hundreds of students, whatever it might be, thousands of hours doing voiceovers and guides and all this shit, that's one thing, right? But when it's like, one day it just stops working. One day people just stop caring. One day there's just another allegation or another COVID lockdown, or there's another whatever it might be. These things just continue to happen over and over. In the Smash scene, it just keeps happening. And there's other industries that are within the Smash scene, or I guess outside, and they work within the Smash scene kind of, that are also going down, right? Whether it's the Panda stuff that happened, and we don't have to touch on that again. I've never really talked about it before, but if it's the Panda shit that's happened, if it's any organizations that have worked with Smash and they either pulled out or they've shut down, like Armada shut down a long time ago, like things are going down, guys, truthfully. And if you are a player, you don't have to care. Genuinely, as a player, you don't have to care. You never have to care. It's like, I just go to locals. Why does this matter to me? It doesn't have to matter to you at all. But like I said, you look around at a lot of these top content creators as well. A lot of them have been trying to branch out and do other things. If you look at a lot of these streamers even, I'm not going to like single anybody out as like a good or bad person. Just take a look at your top favorite streamers and see what they're streaming as of late. Not a lot of Smash. Some of them, I'll say like someone like Tilde or Riddles, they're crushing it in Smash. But a lot of other players not doing so much. And it's not even their own fault, right? They're trying to survive as content creators. And it's kind of the same thing for myself right now, where it's like the next logical thing for me to do is move towards something that is actually lucrative, move towards something that is actually making money and has an audience or a viewer base or community of people that want to support content creators. As far as Smash players, I will say from the bottom of my heart that I've been tremendously blessed with people that have supported me through coaching. I've never really been the type of person ever to ask for donations, ask for people to sub to the Patreon, ask for people to donate or sub on Twitch. And I'm still not even saying it now. I'm not saying, oh, click the link below. It's like, I think for myself that if I want something, I have to work for it. So that the fact that I've been as successful as I have, thanks to the people that have gotten coaching from me, I do take pride in that because it's something that I did versus saying, please take care of me. I'd never want to be that person. I never want to be at the mercy of an audience or play the victim ever. This might, for some of you guys, this might be too much of a dose of myself having too much self-accountability. I've had people say in the past, I take too much accountability for myself, but like, if I don't do it, then who the fuck's going to? Honestly, it's not your job, right? So for myself, if I'm going to ask you guys for anything, the only thing I'm going to ask is to have you guys swing by the Twitch chat. That's basically it. You don't have to swing by and donate. You don't have to swing by and drop a sub. Just swing by, say hey, share a story, hang out with the chat. That's all I really care about at this point. Because I have, like I said, I've been wrestling with this decision. And you guys, if you really are paying attention to this, to the stream and to the YouTube channel, stuff like that, this is not news. But I've been wrestling with the decision to stay in Smash and do Smash content for an extremely, extremely long time. I want to say basically since Sora dropped, which was what, over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. Yeah, a year and a half ago, almost. A very long time. I've been going back and forth saying to myself, should I just stick this out? Is it getting better? It's getting a little bit better, and then this happens. It's getting a little bit better, and then Panda shit happens, or another allegation, or some bullshit happens constantly, where it's like, I'm just actually getting screwed. Truthfully getting screwed over and over again. And once again, it's not your guys' fault. I heard this saying a long time ago, where it's like, a person can be smart, but people are idiots. And unfortunately, people ruin it for a lot of individuals. This is kind of how it's been for a very long time. And so what I'm trying to do, or what I want to do, is continue to do content creation for you guys. I still want to have you guys, I still want you guys to learn stuff. I still want to be educational. I still want to have you guys laugh. A lot of that is happening much more now on stream. I'm going to be putting out like live chat type videos and stuff like this on the channel as much as I possibly can. And I'm still going to be coaching Smash. I'm going to give you guys an update video on what's going to be happening with coaching in the future, hopefully sooner than later. But I really do want to try and push Call of Duty. And I'll say, I'm not even going to try and push it to necessarily my audience, because I've tried in the past. Years ago, I've tried in the past, and my audience is like, yo, Call of Duty, what is... No, okay. Yeah, if you guys aren't down to play it, that's totally fine. It's not your job to play it. You don't have to do it for me, and I get that. But if you are someone who didn't even know that I play, and I play pretty seriously as well, then you should come by the chat, come by the Twitch stream, and we'll chill, probably get some games in. I'd love to try and get more people playing that, because in that game you can actually do like 5v5 or 6v6 or whatever, do private lobbies and have a way bigger community of people playing together versus everyone kind of just watching me and watching me play with like one person or whatever it might be. But yeah, this is the wrestling hard life altering decision that I've been going through, because for Smash it's been about 3.5 years or 4 years of my life, every day, every waking moment, at all times. Wake up, what's the video going to be? Who am I going to coach? I have to keep up on my skills. I have to put out all these videos, editing, all this types of stuff, nonstop, constantly, right? So for myself, it's like, do I want to stay here and do this when it's slowly going downhill? Or do I make that, like I said, hard life-altering decision where I do switch to something else? Even though, like I said, right this second, things are not that bad. They're not that bad as far as in Smash. But I know it's not going up. Actually, you know what? I can't even really say. I didn't sign an NDA or anything like this, but I do know things are going to get worse. And that's not to like inspire fear or terror into the community by any means, but I do know things are about to get a lot worse, at least for my niche of the community. So I had to make a decision for myself, basically. If you guys are interested in coming through the stream, like I said before, then yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to pitch in the video. I'll link that, I'll show it on screen. That's basically it. Hopefully you guys can understand. And that's basically it. I don't know how to end this. I just ended, I guess.